This CCTV camera needs no data cable, no mains cable, no Wi-Fi, which makes it perfect for larger rural properties. Hello, welcome to English Country Life, welcome to the garden. My name's Hugh, together with a fantastic Fiona I run this small holding here in rural Lincolnshire. And one of the things that we sort of talk about in our videos and articles is rural security. Now, I'm going to set my stall out here. You are safer living in the country than you are living in the town. That's statistically provable. It is also provable that rural theft is thankfully declining, and take a look at the very, very good NFU Mutual 2025 survey. I'll put a link down in the description that covers that sort of thing. But what it also tells us is livestock theft's on the way up, and there is still that persistent theft of the expensive machinery you need to live out in the country. So it's still important for all of us to take care of our properties and our equipment, etc. And as stretched as rural police usually are, you get to that place when you say, when seconds count, the police are only minutes away, or probably a few hours away in reality. So we do have to take some measures of self-control here. Now, around our property, we've got alarms, we've got locked gates, we've got Wi-Fi cameras, and we are very security conscious. So when Reolink, one of the top manufacturers of CCTV, wrote to us recently and said, do you want to try our cameras? I said, well, quite honestly, for round and about the cottage and the yard and all of that, we're well covered. Thank you very much. But, no. Now, if you've got a remote solution for the areas of the property that aren't Wi-Fi covered and don't have power, that's a different talk. And they said, yeah, actually, as it happens, we do. They've got this thing that's behind us, and that is the Reolink Go PT Ultra. And what that is, it's a camera system that runs on 4G. So the mobile phone stuff, it runs on an internal battery, and it can be recharged using USB, which means you can recharge it from the mains, but also from a power pack, or, as I've got it set up, with an optional solar panel, and you all know how much I love solar. And then you've got this full sophisticated CCTV system that can alert you to all sorts of events proactively, monitor remote parts of your property, etc. And I don't want you to sit there and look at me. So what I propose to do, I'm not going to do some boring unboxing video, I'm just going to run you through the unit, what it does, how it works, and what you can get out of it, why it's particularly suitable for a rural environment. Now, for filming purposes, I've mounted this camera onto a 3x3 post that I've set up on a big slab, so I can move it around from place to place and test that it actually does what it's supposed to do. And it's attached to that post with this bracket that's designed to be screwed to the wall, presumably of a building, etc. But it also comes with a ceiling mount, and it also comes with a strap, and the strap can go around a telegraph pole or a tree or anything like that that's round that you might want to attach your camera to. So you should be able to fit it just about anywhere. The most important thing, in my view at least, of a camera is image quality. So let's find out what the image quality of the Reolink is actually like. Yep, this is still me, you're just looking at me on the Reolink, and it's got a full 4K image, which is better, by the way, than any of the cameras that I've currently got. I've got 1080p, which is fine, but the 4K really gives you a lot more. It makes faces much easier to see, particularly at a distance, means you can zoom in further. So that is a big plus point. So let us see if we can trigger the passive infrared motion alert. And that little clicking sound you may have just heard in the background is my phone being notified that something's moving around in the zone of the camera. Clicking the alert shows you a video of whatever has triggered the camera at day and at night, and I was actually quite impressed with the night vision, and this is without lights on. In fact, I think it's better just on infrared at night. If you do receive an alert from your camera, you do have some choices about what you can do about it. If you click on the alert, it'll take you to the app, and you can then do one of several things. You can turn the lights on the camera. You can sound an alarm, or you can use the speaker on the camera to talk to whoever you've seen and inquire what's going on.
Police are on the way.
So let's have a few conclusions, and I think before we do that it's important to think about the types of camera exist, and in my head there's really 4 types. There's the hard direct wired types of CCTV cameras. They're great in certain environments. You don't get Wi-Fi dropout, you know, they are effectively free to run, but you have to run all those wires, and that limits where you can put them. Then there's the Wi-Fi cameras. They're a bit more flexible, but you're limited to where your Wi-Fi is. Now, sort of almost Wi-Fi plus, there's a thing called a bridge camera, which uses a sender and a receiver to send your Wi-Fi and receive signals back over a long distance, several miles potentially, but they're very expensive and they are limited to line of sight. But they can work in certain circumstances and they're then free to run. Which brings us on to this. So, the Reolink Go PT Ultra, which uses, as a number of these types of devices do, the sort of 4G, 5G phone signal to send data. The ultimate in flexibility. Anywhere there's a phone signal, you can pretty much put this camera, and that's fabulous. The downside is, of course, that the on-running costs will therefore be higher. And, you know, a SIM card with unlimited data can be had for £20 a month now, with a more limited data plan can be a £5 a month. But there will be an ongoing running cost, and you need to configure the system to use as little data as possible if you're on a strict budget. So turn it off in certain hours when you don't need it, don't send lots and lots of high quality video alerts, those kind of things, and the app controls all of that functionality. So you do have those options, but you have to come to grips with the app. Overall, I love the flexibility this offers. If I was using it around the cottage, I would get the Wi-Fi version because it's ongoing, free to run. But for remote sites, for yards, for fields, for livestock monitoring, very useful. And I can, of course, turn on and off the data if I only want to use it occasionally, say for lambing or something like that. If you've enjoyed today's video, can you spare us 5 seconds? Give us a thumbs up down below. If you'd like to know more about rural security, would you like a video where we compare the different types of camera? We could do that. We could put that together for you. Let us know what you'd like to see down in the comments. We try and make those videos for you. If you want to see those videos and everything else we do, tap on subscribe and hit the bell icon next to it down there, and you'll hear every time we upload a new video. For today, thanks for joining us. Come back and see us soon. Take care.